Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Line, and this is a new drama thriller coming your way from writer-director Ethan Berger, focusing on the story of Tom, played by Alex Wolff, who's in a fraternity at this southern school, and fraternity life is so deeply ingrained. And you have Tom trying to live his life without consequences and a hope of taking over this fraternity from their leader, played by Lewis Pullman. And he has this struggle with his roommate and best friend, played by Bo Mitchell, and how he's coming about this entering class of recruits led by Austin Abrams Geddes O'Brien, who is a complicated, strong personality that will shake the foundation of what this fraternity thinks that it can do to its members and processing things. You have Halle Bailey as this young woman who Tom is trying to connect with. I feel like it does in many ways feel like a loose thread that's just hanging off here, kind of distracting from the main story. But there are some merited elements to it where you have Tom who's really connecting with this young woman, or at least trying to, and feels like there's this attraction, and maybe she's not into the same thing, and that kind of feels like this added on element. But at the heart of it, it's this Greek life perspective, what Greek life perspective can do to students, putting them on academic probation because they're partying too much and not trying enough in class. You feel some of that backlash with some of the perspectives of their new dean of students or their professors and what those expectations are, and you can feel the tension in this group trying to realign what they're doing in terms of their Greek life, recruiting, and all those kinds of things. There's quite a few scenes in here that are incredibly hard to watch because just how heated and uncomfortable and also toxic this whole presentation can be if it's not done right. And you can see this fraternity in this film is not doing any of these things right. And, you have to suspend some disbelief that, these young students are getting away with so much and all those elements. But I feel like by the time we get to the third act of this film, and it escalates, it takes you to a whole other level. The film never digs deep enough into its other elements instead of like those closest to these characters that are trying to flesh out this mystery of what really happened to this one particular student. But across the board, from Wolff to Mitchell to Abrams to Bailey to Pullman, like Angus Cloud in there, there's just so many moving pieces and strong performers, but not really getting a chance to, really show off the depths of what this story can do. And in many ways it goes very surface level, but there are some thrilling and impactful elements, how it navigates classism and this Greek life mindset, which in many ways needs to break and evolve. And this film really shows where those dark elements are, those holes along the way, in terms of what can really be done to, make these young men feel consequences of their actions, because that's the biggest concern, is that so many of them don't see the need for consequences. And there's so much conflict between Mitchell's character and Abrams' character, and when Wolff gets involved, it just snowballs into this leading of this whole entire story. And sure, it has some familiar beats and certain threads that don't feel fully fleshed out, but it is still an impactful and important time where you can see how these things are changing in colleges and what you might need to do moving forward to try to make sure that things like this particular story never happen again. But those are my thoughts on The Line. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.